Okay, the next topic in three-phase induction motor is starting of induction motors. So if you want to run the induction motor, we have to start. If you want to start means initially the current drawn by the induction motor is very high. When it's because the speed is zero. Initially when you are starting the induction motor, the speed is zero. When speed is zero, the induction initially during starting, induction motor is taking very high currents. See here, induction motor uh, is similar in action to a polyphase transformer with a short-circuited rotating secondary. Therefore, if normal voltage is applied to the stationary motor, what do you mean by stationary motor? What do you mean by stationary motor? Anyone? Stationary motor means it is not running. Rotor is not running. When rotor is not running, what is the speed?
Zero.
Zero. When speed is zero, what is happening is it is taking very large current. So when you are starting the motor, it is taking the this point is very important, a very large initial current. Initial current means when the rotor is zero and the rotor is not running and speed is zero, it is drawing very high current by the primary. What is the primary? Stator or rotor?
Stator.
Stator. Because we are connecting the stator winding to the three-phase supply. When you are connecting the stator to the three-phase supply, when speed of the rotor is zero, it is drawing very large current. Suppose let us take the current drawn by the induction motor is maximum 10 ampere. Maximum 10 ampere. But it is drawing 70 ampere. When the speed of the rotor is zero, initially the stator winding, very high current of 70 ampere is flowing. Maximum 10 ampere it can tolerate primary windings. If 70 ampere is flowing, what will happen to the windings in the primary stator? If 70 ampere is flowing, rated current is 10 ampere. But initially it is drawing very high current of 7 times. 10 into 7, 7 times greater than the rated current. The windings, what will happen? What will happen to the windings if 70 ampere will flow? They will be burnt out. They will be burnt out. So we have to protect the induction motor from the initial starting current. That's why the concept of starting of induction motor came into existence. While starting, what we had to do? To avoid this large initial current. To avoid this large initial current during starting. Only during starting, this is the problem. While running, it will take the normal current less than 10 ampere or maximum 10 ampere. Rated current means it should not exceed the rated current. Rated current is 10 ampere. Let us take for the induction motor. During starting, when speed is zero, this is the problem. When speed is normal condition, that is 1500 rpm or 1400 rpm or 1300 rpm. Once the induction motor reaches to 70% of rated speed, let us take the rated speed is 1500 rpm. What is 70% of 1500 rpm? Multiply 1500 with 0.7. 70% means 0.7. 70 by 100. 1500 into 70 by 100. 70% of speed. What is the value? 1350. Is it 1350? 1500 rpm is the rated speed. NS. What is 70% of 1500? 1350. Calculate.
Sir, 1050. 1050.
1050. Okay, 1050. NS is
Yes, sir.
1500. NS is 1500 RPM. Suppose if the N is the actual speed of the rotor, if N is reaching 1050, then the initial current drawn is less than 10 ampere. Only when speed is 0, very large current is drawing. So to restrict the current to 10 ampere, what we have to do in the initial stage when speed is 0? If you add resistance, current will be reduced.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the process. So during starting, we had to reduce this current. Once the speed reaches to 70% of rated speed, that is rotor reaches to 1050, there is no need of initial resistance. There is no need to add resistance. Automatically resistance will be cut out. Only for the initial purpose, for starting the induction motor, we need the high resistance. Some resistance will be added in series with the windings, in series with the rotor windings. Okay. In slip ring, we have seen we can add some external resistance. Okay. So for restricting the current, initial large current, we'll add some resistance. We'll add some winding. Winding is also having some resistance in the primary. In the primary only. Okay. It will be remembered that exactly similar conditions exist in case of a DC motor. Anyway, we have not studied. I don't want to discuss. I want to discuss only about the induction motor. Now I have understood why you are using, why there is necessity of starting of induction motor. When speed, first point, when speed is 0, speed is 0 means rotor speed. Rotor will rotate, stator will not rotate. When rotor is speed n is 0, very large current it will drop. Once the speed of the rotor reaches to 70% of the rated speed, automatically the current will be less than rated current, less than 10 ampere. So only for starting purpose, we need some methods. Some methods are required during starting of induction motor to reduce the initial large current. This is the concept. For this concept, we'll study. Let us see. Induction motor when direct switched. Direct switch means without adding resistance. When speed is 0, direct switched takes 5 to 7 times their full load current. Let us take full load current is rated current 10 ampere. 5 to 7 times means 10 ampere into 7. 7 times greater than the rated current. Actually, only less than 10 ampere or maximum 10 ampere feels the full load current. It has to flow. But during when directly switch, if you switch on the induction motor, it will take initially 5 to 7 times their full load current and develop only 1.5 to 2.5 times their full load torque. What do you mean by torque? Initially the speed is 0. Some torque is needed for rotation. And if there is no torque, inertia is there. Initially, inertia is there in the rotor. It is not rotating. To overcome that inertia, we need the torque. We need the torque. See here, initially, torque is only 1.5 to 2.5 times the full load torque, rated torque. But what is happening to the current? Current is 7 times greater than the rated current. The torque is very less, but the current is very high. So we have to improve the torque and reduce the current. Once torque is improved, then there will be rotation in the induction rotor. There will be rotation in the rotor. Torque is needed for any movement. Suppose if you take let us take an example, football. On the ground, we are keeping the football. Without kicking the football, 1 second, go through the para. Sorry. See here. Induction motor when direct switched take 5 to 7 times their full load current and develop only torque is very less. This initial excessive current is objectionable. Why it is objectionable? This initial excessive current 7 times of full load, why it is objectionable? This initial excessive current is objectionable. Why? It will burn out the windings. Only less than 10 ampere has to flow. If rated current, full load current is 10 ampere means less than 10 ampere has to flow. So we have to protect the windings because it will produce large line voltage drop, which in turn affect the operation of electrical equipment connected to the same lines. All these things not necessary. So only this first two lines are very important. We have to increase the torque and reduce the current. We have to reduce the current to below the 10 ampere full load current, and we have to increase the torque. For that, we are adding one resistance in series with the windings. Now come to the, what do you mean by direct switching? See here, direct switching are line starting of induction motor. If you directly switch on, what will happen? Okay. So rotor input P2. Yesterday we have discussed in the last class formulas. What is the formula for P2? What is the formula for P2? See your notes. What is the formula for P2?
CR.
Torque tau into
2 pi ns.
2 pi ns. Okay. Ns is fixed, that is stator speed is fixed, synchronous speed. 2 pi is also constant. So power, these three constants, I'm taking one constant k. I'm taking one constant k into tau. So power is directly proportional to torque. Power P is directly proportional to torque. This is P2. Now come to the rotor copper loss. PCR is equal to S into P2. Yesterday in the last class we had discussed. Copper loss PCR is equal to S times of P2. Rotor input is P2. S into rotor input is KT. What is rotor copper loss? 3 into I square R. 3 into I square R. This derivation is not necessary for you, but if you want to understand, I had to explain this derivation. Rotor copper loss is 3 into 3 phase induction motor. 3 phases are there. That's why if it is single phase I square R, if it is 3 phase, we are taking 3 into I square R. Rotor means I2 and R2. Stator means I1 R1. 3 into I square R is equal to S into KT. See here, I2 is now I2 is directly proportional to I1. Why means in the primary winding, stator I1 is flowing, in the rotor I2 is flowing. So here torque is, see from this equation, torque is proportional to I square by S. Bring this S to this side. Torque is proportional to I square by S if R2 is constant, if R2 is same. If R2, let us take resistance is constant, torque is proportional to I2 square by S. If current is high, torque will also be very high. Torque will also be very high. Now see here, torque is proportional to I2 square by S in the rotor. Similarly, in the stator, torque is proportional to I1 square by S. See these two equations. See these two equations. If slip is 1, during starting, what is the value of slip when n is 0?
0.
When n is 0, S is equal to ns minus n by ns. Ns by ns, it is 1. If n is 0, slip formula is ns minus n by ns. If n is 0, ns by ns, that is 1. Your slip is 1. Let us take slip is 1. Then torque is proportional to I square. Torque is proportional to I square. I1 is primary winding, stator. I2 is secondary winding, rotor. Starting torque means TST. Your slip is 1 because N is 0. During starting, your rotor speed is 0, slip is 1. If slip is 1, substitute S is equal to 1, remove the proportionality sign and keep on constant. Remove the proportionality sign and keep the constant K. TST starting torque is equal to K into IST. In place of I1, I am taking starting current IST. Also. ST means starting. ST means starting. In place of I1, IST, starting current. Now we take one more equation, that is full load torque, TF. This is starting torque, TST, IST. If you take full load torque, your speed is not 0. When the rotor is running, that is called full load torque. Full load torque means rated current, at rated current. Let us take TF. TF is equal to K into, in this formula, remove the sign, K into IF square by SF. Your slip is not 0 during full load torque. Only two equations are necessary here. One equation is starting torque. During starting, your slip is 1, but in the full load torque, your slip is not 1. That's why you are getting SF here. In the denominator, we are getting SF, but here SF is 1 during starting. But in the full load torque means running condition. During running condition, your speed is not 0. When speed is not 0, there is slip. That is SF. TF is equal to K into IF square. If you are taking F means full load. Here full load current will take. SF, full load slip. Now let it be equation 1. This equation, let it be equation 2. Equation 1 by 2. This equation is 1. TST is equal to K into IST square. Second equation is TF is equal to K into IF square by SF. If slip is not 1. Okay, some slip is there. Now take equation 1 by 2. We'll get this equation. Take equation 1 by 2. Write down in your notes. Equation 1 by 2. Are you getting this equation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let it be equation 3. Let it be equation 3. Up to here, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now when motor is directly switched onto normal voltage, let us take in your house 230 volts as the normal voltage. But in 3-phase, the normal voltage is 420 volts. 400 or 420 volts is the normal voltage in 3-phase. Then starting current is the short circuit current ISC. Starting current is ISC. In this equation, when speed is 0, your current is short circuit current because very high current. During starting, IST is equal to ISC substitute. In place of IST starting current, you are substituting ISC short circuit current. Why it is short circuit current means when the speed is 0, the current drawn is very high. The current drawn is very high. ISC. So ISC I am keeping in place of IST. Substitute. After substituting, let us take ISC by IF. A is equal to ISC by IF. They are simplifying the equation by taking one term, that is A. They are defining A as ISC by IF. ISC by IF. That is A square. ISC by IF, A means A square into SF. A square into SF. Now here, they are taking ISC is equal to 7 times of IF. They are taking short circuit current. Full load current is, let us take 10 ampere. Then initial current, starting current is 7 into 10. 7 times greater. Initial current is very high. 7 into 10, 70 ampere. Your actual final load current, full load current is 10 ampere. We should not exceed 10 ampere. But during starting, since speed is 0, your initial current is ISC is very high. Your initial starting current is short circuit current. That is 7 times of the full load current. Let us assume IF is 10, 70 ampere. It will burn out the windings. Now let us assume slip is 4%. SF is equal to 0.04. SF is equal to 0.04. Now substitute SF is equal to 0.04 and A value. ISC is 7 into IF. Substitute A is ISC is equal to 7 into IF. IF and IF is going to be cancelled. What is the value of A? See here. ISC substitutes 7 into IF. IF is going to be cancelled. What is A value?
7.
7. Now here substitute 7 square into 0.04. See, TST by TS, starting torque by full load torque. Starting torque by full load torque, that is equal to 7 square into 0.04. What is the torque now? What is the value? Sorry,
1.7.
1.96. 1.96. Therefore, starting torque is, bring this TF to the right hand side. TST is equal to 1.96 times of full load torque. See, torque is only 1.96 of the full load torque. But what is happening to the current? 7 times of the full load current. The current is drawn is very high, but the torque is very less. Only 1.96 times of the full load torque. Starting torque is 1.96 times of full load torque. Bring this TF to the right hand side. TF is the full load torque. Full load torque. Only when if the initial current is very high, the torque is very less. Now what we have to do is we have to reduce this initial current. I have to increase the torque. What do you mean by increasing of the torque? What is the necessity of increasing the torque?
Decreases the current.
It will decrease the current, and one more thing is rotor is 0 starting. If you want the rotation, we need the torque to overcome the inertia. Initially, I have already told you, football we are having. One football, we place it on the ground. Unless we kick the football, it won't move. Why it is not moving if you are not hitting with, if you are not kicking with your foot?
It is in
Why
stationary movement.
It is stationary and it is having inertia. Some inertia is there. So we have to, it has to overcome that inertia. If you kick with your foot, then the ball will move forward direction. That is rotation will be there in the ball. See, that is nothing but torque. We are giving the torque to the football with the help of your foot. With the help of your foot, we are kicking the football. Similarly, here also the rotor is 0, N is 0. Unless you give the torque, some kicking is needed. So torque means we are rotation. If you give one kick, so that the initial kick is very low here, 1.96 only, but the current is 7 times, but here it is only 1.96, approximately 2 times only. So for increasing this torque, what we have to do? We have to increase the torque and reduce the current. These are the 2 points which you have to remember for starting. So there are 2 types of motors here. One is squirrel cage type and the one is slip ring type. So in squirrel cage motor, how we will start initially? The rotor, induction motor. There are 3 methods for starting the squirrel cage motors. There is one method for starting the slip ring motor. So what are the 3 methods? One is primary resistor or reactors. First method, we'll add the resistance in the primary winding, stator winding, or rheostat, or reactors. Reactors means windings. If you add the resistance, automatically the current will be reduced. Otherwise, second method is auto transformer. In auto transformer also we are having one winding. The winding is having some resistance. It will reduce the current. Third method is star delta switches. With the help of star delta switches, we can reduce the current. So these 3 methods are used for reducing the current and for increasing the torque. To reduce the current to normal value less than 10 ampere and increase the torque, these 3 methods. Or to reduce the current, we will use these 3 methods in squirrel cage motors. But in all these 3 methods, terminal voltage of squirrel cage motor is reduced during starting. They are reducing the voltage for starting the motor. If voltage is reduced, current will be reduced. With the help of these 3 methods, they are reducing the voltage. How they are reducing the voltage and how they are reducing the current, that we will discuss in these 3 methods. In squirrel cage motors, in second slip ring motors, the method is rotor rheostat. Because in slip ring, we can add external resistance. But in squirrel cage rotor, we can't add the external resistance. In slip ring motor, we can add, in the rotor, we can add some external rheostat. That is a rotor rheostat control method in slip ring motor. So go through this derivation for 1 minute. Now I'll start the first method. Squirrel cage motors, primary resistors. First method is primary resistors. Second method is auto transformer. And third method is star delta switches. That is the third method. This is the third method. Star delta switches. Second method is auto transformer. And third method is star delta switches. We will discuss one by one. So you should know what are the starting methods. Don't confuse between the starting methods and speed control method. These are not speed control methods. These are the starting methods. How to start the induction motor. How to make the rotor to rotate. Once rotor reaches to 70% of rated speed, there is no need of all these things, because the current will be reduced to below 10 ampere. Only during starting it, these are the required methods. During running, there is no necessity of these methods, because during running, the current is drawn by the rotor is very less. Okay. We will see first method, primary resistors in squirrel cage motor. First method you see. This is the rotor which is rotating. So this is the stator winding, 3 windings, 1, 2, 3, connected in star connection. Already has seen this one. In squirrel cage motor, stator is 1, 2, 3. Stator winding is 3-phase winding that is connected. These 3 windings are connected to 3-phase supply. This is the R phase, Y phase, B phase. 3-phase supply. 3. This is not F. Phase 5. 3-phase supply. First phase, second phase, third phase. And these are the 3 windings. What is the first method? Primary resistors. First method is primary. See, in series with the 3-phase winding, we are connecting rheostat resistors 1, 2, 3. This winding is connected in series with this rheostat. This winding is connected in series with this rheostat. This winding is connected in series with the resistance. 3 resistors we are connecting in series with the 3 windings. Okay. Now here, let us assume that these 3 resistances are not there. If these 3 resistances are not there, only windings are connected to 3-phase supply. Suppose if we apply 400 volts here, then what is the voltage across these 3 windings? 3 windings దగ్గర ఎంత voltage ఉంటుంది? Line voltage in between any 2 windings, line voltage ఎంత ఉంటుంది?
400.
How much? 400 volts. If these resistances are not there, if you apply 400 volts, your line voltage in between any 2 windings is 400. Suppose if I connect the resistance in series with these windings, what happens to the voltage? These 2 are series. In series, voltage will divide or voltage will divide. Suppose across this resistance, some 200 volts is dropped. What is the remaining? 1 second, I'll call it. See here, in series voltage will divide. Since you are connecting one resistance in series with this winding, suppose if here 150 volts is dropped out of 400, what is the remaining voltage? 400 minus 150, how much?
250.
250. Only 250 volts will be dropped here, will appear across this winding. That means we are reducing the voltage or not? By connecting one rheostat here, the voltage will be divided. Suppose if 150 volts is dropped here, only remaining 250 volts will appear as the line voltage in between these two windings. That means X is the fractional value. How much voltage it will reduce? X is the voltage reduced. X will be less than 1. X will be less than 1. See here, if voltage is reduced, you are starting, see, if the voltage applied across the motor terminals is reduced by 50%, let us take 400 volts if you are applying, here 200 volts, let us take it is dropped, remaining is 200 volts, it will appear across the winding. Suppose if this rheostat is not there, if you apply 400 volts, that entire 400 volts will appear across this. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are reducing the voltage with the help of the resistors. First method. If the voltage applied across the motor terminals is reduced by 50%, starting current is also reduced by 50% because current is directly proportional to voltage. If voltage is reduced, current is also reduced by 50%, but torque is reduced to 25% only. Current will be reduced by 50%, but torque is reduced to 25% only. So by using primary resistors, the applied voltage per phase can be reduced by a fraction X. Applied voltage per phase can be reduced. What is the X value here? If you take 200 volts across this out of 400, what is the X value? 50%, 0.5. X value is 0.5. Half of it is reduced. If you are reducing by 60%, X value is 0.6. If you are reducing the voltage by 30%, X value is 0.3. So by using primary resistors, the applied voltage per phase can be reduced by a fraction X, and it additionally improves the power factor. Okay. So here, if voltage is reduced by X%, your starting current is also reduced by X. Short circuit current is reduced by X. Therefore, starting current is IST is equal to X into ISC. Starting current is IST is equal to X into ISC. Now substitute here, starting torque is equal to X square into TSC. So in this equation, which equation is it? See the equation 1 we have, this equation 3. TST by TF is equal to, in place of IST, X into ISC. X into ISC. X into ISC by, sorry, X into IF or ISC. Okay, X into ISC. If you substitute that, what you will get? X square will get inside this. X into,
Yes, sir.
okay, X square will get. Let us take X square into TSC. TST by TF, instead of TF, they are taking TSC, short circuiting torque. TST is equal to X square into TSC. Now we know the equation. TST by TF is equal to IST by EF whole square into SF. This equation. TST by TF is equal to IST by EF whole square into SF. That is A square into SF. But here extra will get X square also. X into IST by EF. X into IS. In place of IST, substitute X into IST by EF. IST by IF is A square. X square you are getting here, but IST by IF is A square. A square into SF. X square, A square, SF. So if the X value is increasing, what happens to the voltage? Voltage will be reduced, and current also will be reduced, and torque will be increased. TST is equal to X square times of the TF. It is obvious that the ratio of starting torque full load torque is X square of that obtained with direct switching on across the lines starting. This method is useful for smooth starting of small machines only. What is the disadvantage in this method? This method is useful for the smooth starting of small machines only. Okay, not the large machines. With the help of primary resistors. If you use the primary resistors here, this method is used only for starting the small machines, small induction machines. If you want to go for the large induction motors, then you'll go to the second method. Instead of connecting resistances, we'll connect the auto transformers. Instead of going for resistances, In place of resistance, we'll connect the windings, auto transformer windings. Auto transformer already we had discussed in transformers. What is auto transformer? See here. 1 second. See now auto transformer method. Such starters known as auto starters or compensators consist of an auto transformer with necessary switches. What is the figure? 35.19b. 35 or three-phase auto transformer connected in open delta. 35.19a. A and B will see. What is A and B? Okay. See, this is the rotor. This is the stator. 1, 2, 3, 3 windings are there. So where is the auto transformer in this diagram? Where are the auto transformers in this diagram? The diagram like this is the auto transformer winding. This is an auto transformer winding. This is auto transformer winding. This is the auto transformer winding. So these windings will be connected in series with this 3 windings. Suppose if we place the switch, how many switches? This is one switch, one pair. This is the second pair. This is the third pair. 3 switches are there. See, first 2 lines are one pair. Second 2 lines are one pair. This is the third pair. Suppose if I place this line here and this line here. Okay. If I place this line here and this line here, which windings are connected? This winding and this winding. In between these 2 windings, line voltage will happen. This winding is connected in series with this, and there is no winding here. There is no winding. So this winding is connected in series with this. So in auto transformer, if you use the auto transformer, there will be saving in, not saving, voltage. Okay, we have discussed about the auto transformer. What is the necessity of auto transformer? Anyone? How many windings are there in the auto transformer?
3, sir.
Not here. In auto transformer, what we have discussed in transformer? Only one winding, which can be acting as both primary and
Sir, only one winding.
only one winding, both primary and secondary. Okay, there we will take the tapping or not. So at some point we are taking the tapping. That will give the transformation ratio K. K is equal to N2 by N1. Same winding can be used both as secondary N2 winding and the primary winding. So if you place the tapping there, voltage will be reduced or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is X into V. Here also X into V. So this diagram we have to draw in the exam. X is the how much amount voltage is reduced. With the help of only one winding, we can reduce the voltage. So some voltage is dropped here and remaining voltage will be dropped here, just like the resistors, what I have explained. In auto transformer also voltage will be reduced. Here voltage is reduced with the help of the auto transformer. Auto transformer is having only one winding. This connection diagram we have to, this is during starting. So if you can see here, they are giving 2 points here. One is start and the one is run. What do you mean by start and run? See here, if these two first pair of switches are connected to these two, it is connected to stator winding. During starting, we are using the auto transformer. Once the speed of the rotor reaches to 70%, that is 1050, what we had told, out of 1500 RPM, then there is no necessity of the auto transformer because the current will be less. There is no necessity of auto transformer. Now place these 2 switches in the running condition to these two. Then auto transformer will be removed from the stator winding. Initially, to this stator 3 windings, we are connecting the auto transformer. If you connect these switches to these pairs, first 2 switches to this auto transformer, second 2 switches, this line and this line, and third switch, this line and this line. Initially, for starting purpose, we are connecting the stator, this auto transformer windings. Once the speed of the rotor reaches to 70%, is there necessity of this auto transformers? Is there any necessary?
No, sir.
No, there is no need. That's why we'll remove these switches and we'll place in these switches, these contacts. If you place these switches to these contacts, then we are not connecting this auto transformer windings to the stator windings. That means we are removing these windings and directly these are connected to 3-phase supply. These switches are directly connected to 3-phase supply and these 3 windings are directly connected to 3-phase supply. During running condition means once the rotor reaches to 70%, we are cutting out this stator, this auto transformer winding. There is no need of this transfer. Have you understood what I am telling? Only
Yes, sir.
during starting purpose,
Yes, sir.
we need this auto transformer. Once it reaches to rated speed, that is 70% of the rated speed, there is no need of the auto transformer. Then we are connecting these switches in the running condition. During starting condition, these windings are connected to auto transformer. Once during running condition, we are removing this auto transformer. This is the method of starting the. Why you are connecting during starting means voltage is reduced by X times. Automatically your current will be reduced. Voltage is reduced means your current is also reduced. See the derivation. Torque is proportional to V by root 3. If you want the in star connection, what is the relation between line and phase voltage? What is the relation between line and phase voltage? VL is equal to
V phase by
root 3 into V phase. Then V phase is equal to VL by root 3. V phase is equal to VL by root 3. Therefore, remove this proportionality sign and place one constant K into V by root 3. K is the transformation ratio, I think. K is in auto transformer, K is the transformation ratio. Where it is given, I'm showing. I think you know the K value. K is equal to N2 by N1. Okay. K is equal to N2. In place of V, we are placing K into V. K is the transformation ratio. K into V by root 3 whole square. Torque is proportional to V E square or not? See the torque equation. I had told in the previous classes, torque equation. There it is. One minute. Here. See, torque is proportional to E square or not? T is equal to 3 by 2 pi NS S E2 square R2 by Z square. What is the relation between torque and voltage?
directly proportional.
Directly proportional.
Directly proportional to square of the voltage. E2 square. E2 is the secondary voltage in the rotor. Torque is proportional to E2 square. I use this relation. See here. Torque is proportional to E square, E2. In place of V, I am taking K into V because in auto transformer, the voltage is reduced by K times. K lies in between 0 and 1, transformation ratio K. K lies in between 0 and 1. How much voltage it is reduced? K into V by root 3 whole square. Root 3 whole square means divided by 3 will get. Okay. So this entire derivation is not necessary. Final value I am telling here. starting TST by TF is equal to K square A square SF. In the previous equation, what you have got in primary resistors, in place of K, what you have got?
X.
X square. X square A square. Since we are using auto transformer, we'll get transformation ratio K. In place of X, we'll get K. Don't go for all these equations. You'll be confused. TST by TF is equal to K square A square into SF. K is the transformation ratio. Okay. K value lies in between 0 and 1. Therefore, TST by TF is equal to K square A square SF. Remember this equation. K square A square SF for auto transformer. But for the primary resistors, what is the equation? X square TST by TF is equal to X square A square SF. Here in place of X, we will get K square. That is about auto transformer. We are reducing the voltage. Now come to the third method, star delta switches. Where is the third method? Here. Star delta starter. What is the in star delta transformer? Your current is same, voltage will be reduced. See, primary winding is connected in star connection. Primary stator is connected in star connection. During starting, start and run. What do you mean by start and run? I have already told you. What do you mean by start and run?
Speed is 0.
Zero.
During starting, okay. During starting, we'll connect in star connection. This stator winding is connected in star connection. Why in star connection? Anyone? Why in star connection? In star connection, okay. Tell me.
Node, sir.
Because in star connection, voltage is reduced by root 3 times. Because relation between line and phase voltage is VL is equal to root 3 into V phase. Therefore, V phase is equal to VL by root 3. Suppose if you connect in delta, what will happen? VL is equal to V phase or not? In delta, voltage will be same. Current will be different. But in star, voltage will be reduced. V phase is equal to VL by root 3. But in delta, VL is equal to V phase. We are not connecting in delta into during starting, because whatever the voltage 400 volts will apply, that entire 400 volts will appear across the stator winding. If you connect in delta, if you connect in star, voltage is reduced by root 3 times. We want to reduce the voltage. That's why we should connect in star connection. We should not connect the stator winding in star connection initially. Initially, it should be connected, because if voltage is very high, means current will be very high. So our aim is to reduce the current. So initially, it is connected in star connection. The stator winding is connected in star. See, starting star, but running delta. This is the delta symbol. During running condition, they will connect in delta. During starting, we want to reduce the voltage, VL by root 3. That's why we'll connect in star connection. This diagram we have to draw an example. This is the star. These three switches are connected in star connection. These three stator windings are connected in star connection. During starting, if you reduce the voltage, current will be reduced. Now, once this rotor reaches to 70%, what will happen? What we have to do?
Will convert to delta.
These three switches are connected to these 3 points. That is delta. In the Y means during running condition, the current is very less. Even if you apply the full 400 volts, there is no problem to this stator winding. These three switches are connected in delta. Is it clear now? Star delta?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's all about the. Here K value is 1 by 3. 3 times it is reduced. Root 3 means root 3 whole square. Root 3 whole square is 3. 1 by 3. Starting torque is 1 by 3 A square SF into CF. Remember only this formula. In place of K square, you will get 1 by 3. Because 1 by root 3 whole square is 1 by 3 we will get. That's why it is clear that star delta switch is equivalent to the auto transformer ratio of 1 by root 3 or 58% approximately. Okay. Okay, that's all about these three. connections. In the next class, we will go for the, in the next class, these three methods we have completed: primary resistors, auto transformer, star delta. In the next class, I will explain slip ring motor, rotor rheostat. Okay, now I am ending the class. You read all